I once believed that love meant unconditionally supporting someone and maintaining unwavering trust, a conviction that shaped my understanding of relationships. However, life has a way of challenging those beliefs when you least expect it. For 5 years, Sarah and I built a life together, a journey that started in college where we met, navigated the struggles of our early careers, and envisioned a future filled with home, a family, and all our dreams. During our time together, I dedicated myself to providing her with a comfortable life, ensuring that she felt loved and supported in all her endeavors. When she secured a position at a prestigious marketing firm, I felt a surge of pride and excitement. She had worked tirelessly to reach this milestone, and I viewed it as a significant step in our journey together, one that could lead to even greater opportunities. Initially, everything seemed to be falling into place. Sarah was enthusiastic about her work, lighting up when she discussed her projects and the knowledge she was gaining. However, as time went on, I noticed a single name beginning to dominate our conversations: her boss, Mark. She praised him incessantly, highlighting his intelligence, successful career, and inspirational nature. At first, I dismissed it as harmless admiration. After all, she had always been ambitious and driven. But as weeks turned into months, I began to feel an unsettling shift in our relationship. Sarah frequently stayed late at the office. Her phone, once casually left face up on the table, was now always turned face down, as if guarding secrets. Her wardrobe transformed dramatically. She began dressing more stylishly and provocatively, even on days without meetings. Most troubling of all, the intimacy between us began to dwindle. She seemed distant, often shifting away when I tried to hold her at night, mumbling about fatigue or stress from work. Our conversations grew brief and perfunctory, and weekend plans were canceled at the last minute, replaced by vague excuses about work obligations. Concerned and feeling the weight of these changes, I mustered the courage to ask her if something was wrong, if we were still okay. She forced a smile, assuring me that everything was fine and that work was simply stressful. I wanted to believe her, but I couldn't shake the nagging sensation that something was amiss. The turning point came on a Friday night when she mentioned working late on an important campaign. Hoping to surprise her with dinner, I made my way to her office, only to find her desk empty and the lights off. My heart raced as I checked my phone for messages. Nothing. I tried to rationalize the situation as I drove home, but when I arrived at our apartment, I saw something that shattered my heart: a sleek black BMW, her boss's car, parked outside. Entering the dimly lit apartment, laughter echoed from our bedroom. Though I didn't need to open the door to know what awaited me, I did, and there they were, Sarah in bed with him. The moment they spotted me, she gasped and scrambled to cover herself, while Mark smirked, reveling in his victory. I felt a wave of disbelief wash over me as I stood there, letting the painful reality sink in. I didn't need to hear her explanations. I turned and walked out, leaving everything behind. That night, I moved in with a friend while I figured out my next steps. Sarah bombarded me with calls and texts full of apologies, pleading for a conversation, but I had nothing to say. She had made her choice, and I had made mine. A few weeks later, I learned through a mutual friend that she had officially moved in with Mark. While it hurt to know, it confirmed my suspicions that she had been planning this for some time. I dedicated myself to rebuilding my life, hitting the gym, advancing my career, and spending time with friends who supported me during this tumultuous time. Slowly, the pain began to lessen, and I started to regain my sense of self. About 6 months later, karma intervened in an unexpected way. Mark, the man for whom Sarah had sacrificed everything, became embroiled in a workplace scandal. It turned out that Sarah wasn't the only woman he had been involved with. Several employees came forward, revealing his abuse of power to manipulate women in the office. The company terminated him immediately, and since Sarah had been one of his favorites, she lost her job too. Just like that, she lost everything: her career, her reputation, and soon after, Mark abandoned her without a second thought. With no job and nowhere to turn, she did the unexpected and reached out to me one evening. My phone lit up with her familiar number, and I hesitated before answering. "Hey," she said, her voice soft and uncertain. "Can we talk?" I leaned back, amused by her audacity. "About what?" I asked, a mix of curiosity and skepticism bubbling within me. "I made a mistake," she admitted, her vulnerability palpable. "I thought I was making the right choice, but I was wrong. I miss you." I interrupted her with a laugh, disbelief coloring my tone. "You miss me? Or do you just miss having someone who actually cared about you?" Silence lingered heavily until she whispered, "I lost everything. I don't know what to do." It was then that I found the strength to say the words I've been waiting to voice. "I'm not your toy to play with, Sarah. You made your choice. Now live with it." Her voice trembled as she began to cry, pleading for another chance, but I was no longer interested. I had moved on, finding solace in the knowledge that I was no longer entangled in her choices. She lost a man who truly loved her, and that was a loss she would have to bear forever.